What's up guys, Phoenix here. This video is going to be another YGOpro Duel video in Ranked, and this time I'm going to be playing with some Domain Monarchs post the August 29th, 2016 ban list changes. Basically, trying to play this deck and see if it's actually like fairly decent after, you know, it's quote-unquote slaughtering on the ban list. It's pretty much universally accepted that Monarchs got the worst hits on the Forbidden Limited list this time around, because honestly the deck did have a very stressful mechanic going behind it. You had the Domain Monarch builds like this one on one side of the fence, as well as in both builds, both Extra Deck and Domain, you had to deal with non-targeting, non-disruptive removal on your own turn through Aether Stormforth, which was actually very stressful. But with Pantheism Stormforth and the best Monarch Aether all being restricted to one, there's basically just a little bit of questioning whether or not this deck can actually still compete. Now, it is seeing a little bit of success on some minor regional circuits, but we are literally only a week into the format, and if the format develops itself a bit further, as well as with future releases, I could easily see this deck potentially either dying out, but it could actually have some staying power. It depends on whether or not the EDM build just becomes really popular, and you know the problem gets solved through there, or whether or not like there's a thing that solves bricking in the Domain Monarch build, stuff like that. I've been testing this build for a little while, and the biggest problem I have been having is bricking, even though I have tried to replace, you know, the cards we lost with some things that, you know, help the overall game plan, like this one copy of trade-in to go with these Monarchs, usually Erebus. Foolish can put Erebus engraved as well, which can recycle Aether, where it also serves dual purpose, getting, you know, Idea engraved to recycle things like Pantheism stuff. Gofu, instead of Red Layer, because you can specially get 2 tokens, and that can combine with Kura's plays to give you free draws. Things like that, as well as it's a Dark for Allure. There's 10 Allure targets and 2 Allures in this deck. I felt like 2 Allure was probably the right number, but it could probably easily be bumped to 3, honestly. Like, there's just a bunch of little intricacies that, and like little tiny details about this deck list that I put in to it to try and make it as consistent as possible, but I am still running into consistency problems with it. So there definitely is that. So that could be the deciding factor of whether or not Monarchs actually go forward in this format once it develops, is consistency issues and whether or not the extra deck build can actually solve those to a degree to help the engine keep up, basically. But I'm gonna stop yibber yabbering right about now, and I'm just gonna jump straight into the game and not bore you guys any further. Now, spoiler, if the audio is a little weird, it's because I'm on vacation right now in my hotel room alone, and it sounds like there's a little bit of an echo in here, and I can kind of hear it. So hopefully that doesn't negatively affect audio quality. But other than that, with that said, let us just jump into the game, shall we? Alright, so like I said, this is an experiment. Now, whether or not Monarchs have any staying power going into the format, once it defines itself, has yet to, you know, be seen. Obviously, the format has literally been only out for about a week. There are no Monarchs in this hand. Interesting, but I do have a lure, and I've got Idea, so I've got a lure for Eidos already, so there's no issue there. I've got Return, and I've got Prime. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Well, depending on what he does, if he's going first, is going to be what dictates how this ends up having to be played out. But ultimately, this hand has some potential to be melded. I've got a 6 card, and as well as I'm going to see a 7th and 8th off of the Allure, so that's pretty cool. If I get to a Pantheism, that's a Majespecter Crow Yada. Oh my goodness. Does that mean I'm playing against... Am I playing against pure Majespecters? More than likely. Now the question is whether or not he has a way to summon Fox, if he has Tempest. There are multiple different factors that can just come in and just ruin my day. Magical Abductor, wow. Majespecters, wow. Okay, so he does have like an access into Fox, because he's able to get like Babuku here, or just go straight for Fox, or for Ogama. So there's that, but he could definitely use this to get a scale. And then that scale will give Abductor another counter, but it won't be a full 3 counters to get a search, interestingly enough. So unless he has something like a one-off spell, like an Upstart or something to play, then I'm not really afraid of this Abductor doing anything. But whether or not he has a Tempest is going to be what gets me. There's a Tempest. There's the Tempest. Okay. So, now the main thing is that the Domain Monarch build is probably better situated in the format to do well, simply because it operates on a much more simple basis. But the issue is that it's so incredibly easy to stop in its tracks, because of the fact that everything requires basically on the Squires, and if the Squires aren't allowed to resolve, then you're going to have some issues. There are no Monarchs in this hand anyway, so I just 100% lose. I 100% lose this game. I didn't draw a Monarch. No. It doesn't even matter. This Tempest doesn't matter. I didn't draw a Monarch, bit. I'm sorry. No more tears for Harambe. It's over. The dream is dead. There's not even Monarch spells in my graveyard. Oh, this is bad. This is... Ooh. Oh, I played 10 tribute summonable monsters. How have I not seen them? That's a quarter of my deck. That's a fairly sizable chunk, man. Yeah. There is one situation where Red Layer is better than Gofu, and that is the fact that it's infinite. Especially, but that only really matters for like EDM builds, where you're using extra deck cards, because then that's infinite rank 5s along with Prime. In theory, in the pure essence of theory. But really, what? Oh, I gave him spell counters. Oh god. Oh man, I gave him 2 spell counters. That's right. Yeah, this is just 100% over for me. Like, if he doesn't kill me this turn, then I don't know what kind of nonsense he's smoking, but can I have some? But yeah, Red Layer being a tribute summonable monster is actually pretty real, whereas Gofu is not. Gofu cannot be normal summoned or set, and that's actually relevant, and it's come up in multiple games that I've been testing. The issue I've been having with this deck is bricking factor, and it seems to be something that happens a bit more now that we don't have cards like Triple Pantheism. So there is that. What did you just add? He added a QB. Okay. But yeah, this is a problem for me. I can't handle this one. Can't handle the big boys. And this isn't even the big boys. This is Majespecters. Majespecters. Really? Not Ignister first? Ignister spin this and then, you know, pop your Abductor, put your QB in the scale since you've already got Toad. Like, I feel like you're just getting greedy, and I could have very easily gotten you with a very choice Solemn Strike here, but you just didn't want to play around it. But I still lose to you anyway, so I guess that's cool. Yeah, I hate that. I hate when you lose to people that could have easily lost to you had they not respected a card, and if the card was there. Like, say this card was Solemn Strike. You should honestly be playing respecting a card like that, especially when you're playing a Pendulum match, like a Pendulum deck. Like, you could have summoned Ignister, and Ignister basically forces the Solemn Strike at that point, and then you could have Pendulum summoned for free. But instead you made Dinoster, which does basically nothing, and you made it in defense mode as well, which means that this probably isn't game? Well, I mean, it's game regardless, because he's got a Majespecter Tornado, and he added another Tempest, I can only assume. No, he added 2 Tornadoes, really. Interesting. That's interesting. That means that if I draw something like... I would have to specifically draw a Pantheism. I can't even draw Tenacity because I don't have a Monarch. I'd have to draw Pantheism, right? I'd have to draw Pantheism, and then I'd have to draw a Monarch off of that. Or is this game? I don't think it's game. All these numbers are really small. Yeah, he just didn't kill me. I repeat, can I have whatever some of whatever he's smoking? I mean, this is 5 backers. I don't know how I'm going to deal with this. Okay, well, there's a Monarch, but I have no way to summon it because I can't do anything. Time to get negated by Tempest again and then scoop. Alright, but yeah, like, he could have easily just respected Solemn Strike and made an infinitely better play. And then he would have been able to, you know, go in and kill me, but instead he made this Dinosaur that's doing absolutely nothing. Luckily it doesn't matter, because of the fact that he just 100% wins on principle here. So there is that. Yeah, is there anything else I'm capable of doing? There's literally no card I could activate, because I could do this, but like, there's no tribute summon monsters on his board, so I can't summon this. So yeah, every single card in my hand is dead, so I'm just gonna scoop, because consistency is becoming a problem with this deck. I'm gonna try and film another video with this deck and have it go live. I'm probably gonna start testing the extra deck Monarchs as well. I just feel like Domain is probably the better situated build going forward, because of the fact that the Squires are really important, specifically Idea. But that can be implemented into the EDM build a bit as well, I think, maybe. Who knows? But I might test that one a bit later. But as of right now, I feel like Domain is probably the thing that people are going to jump to the most, simply because it is very much like an FTK deck where you play Domain and you just win. depending on if your opponent has the out or not, and like that's actually something that has a lot of allure to it with this deck now because of the fact that the deck lost so many cards. But I digress. Anyway, that is going to be the end of this video. Thank you for watching as always. Hope that this room has been acoustically good, because I can kind of hear an echo, but I hope it doesn't register too heavily in the audio, because I am in this hotel room on vacation right now. But other than that, as always, guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe to all the nonsense you usually do. Links are in the description to my Facebook pages, my background music playlist, as well as my Twitch links. If you want to check any of those out, that's what they're there for. Resources free to use. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you know some people that might like my content as well, I encourage you to share it around. Maybe encourage them to subscribe. Help grow the community a little bit of my subscriber base and how many people I'm able to reach out to with this content. If you want to support the channel and show your support, that's arguably the best way to do so at this current point in time. But other than that, that is it for this video. As always, guys, thanks for watching. And as usual, take care.